Hey guys, what is up? My name is Jasmine. Welcome back to my channel. This morning I was scrolling through the YouTubes as one does when I came across a thumbnail that had my face in it, and it was from another content creator who goes by the name of Angelica Unfiltered here on YouTube. And she is a reaction channel. Specifically, she does reaction content to like fat activist type of content, and she has actually been like gaining a lot of popularity here recently. I've noticed she actually has commented on my channel a few times in the past, and so I do recognize her and I do get recommended a lot of her videos, and I've watched a few of them, and I've noticed that she recently hit 20,000 subscribers, which congrats to you, Angelica. That's awesome, and I know that that's not easy to do. That being said, yeah, she did a reaction to a short form video I posted the other day, kind of talking about my opinion on fat activist reaction channels. And so of course I watched the video already, you guys, and I do have thoughts, and I'm gonna be getting into those. So I thought I would do a reaction to this reaction of me and share it with you guys. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it though.
I can't get over these fucking hats. Sorry for like the crazy angle, but I literally have to film like this if I want to get the whole headpiece in frame, okay? I'm not trying to flex my jawline on you guys, but if I happen to, I'm sorry. Anyway, my name is Angelica. This is the Angelica Unfiltered channel, where I talk about stuff and things that I'm scared to say because I don't want to be demonized. Or demonetized, if demonized is a girl world thing. Sorry if you don't participate in that. You probably won't get a lot of my jokes. Today I wanted to react to this YouTube
I did get that joke, by the way. Just wanted to say, yeah, I got that joke.
short that my fellow mean girlfriend sent me. I won't name names, but you know who she is. It's from a creator named Jasmine who I actually subscribe to on YouTube. I'm sure she posts these shorts on other social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram.
I do.
Because everyone usually cross posts onto it.
And I will say I do not have Instagram, so yeah, I post my TikToks on YouTube Shorts.
Very different social media platform. Before we get into this video, I just want to say that I am not sending this creator any hate. I do not condone going to her comment section and leaving anything mean or harmful. I genuinely want the best for this creator. I know that she's on a weight loss journey. I hope she is successful. I want her to continue to slay and lose weight, but I'm just sharing my own opinion and critiquing what she has to say because that's my human right. As an American, I have the freedom of speech, and YouTube has given me this platform to use that freedom of speech. I just wanted to share my opinion because this whole channel is about sharing my opinion, and I'm posting every day until Christmas for Reactmas, and I need things to talk about. Before we get into it, today, jewelry of the day, I'm wearing the Cosmic Candy necklace. This is available in silver and gold, and it's almost sold out. So if you were...
I do want to say I have seen her kind of promote her jewelry business in some of her videos, and I do really like her jewelry. I think she has really pretty jewelry.
Eyeing it, you might want to pick it up soon. And then for earrings, I'm wearing these Estrella Moonstone Huggy Hoops, which are also available in silver and gold. You know, it kind of gives like a little whimsical, snowy vibe. You know, trying to be in the Christmas spirit. If you're interested, you can pick up these pieces or anything else from my small business called Rebirth Jewelry, and you can use code MAGIC to save 15% off your first order. But let's get into this clip. On the screen it says hot take on fat activist reaction channels.
I'll start off by saying I am not a fat activist. I do not identify with that side of the internet in any way, shape, or form, just to make that clear. And I do understand how having a strong opinion or a hot take on a subject is good for engagement and the algorithms and what have you.
I'm not sure about what she posts on her other social media platforms, but Jasmine Flowers here. Hold on, I'll pull up her channel. This was posted one day ago, 30th birthday glow up, the truth about my November weight gain after coming off a GLP-1, weekly weigh-in, massive grocery haul.
I just want to
weekly
say,
weigh.
I don't know why, but like watching this part of the video did make me cringe a little bit. It's just kind of weird to see like my face so much on one page in all the videos I've posted. And I mean, granted, I'm the one that has created this, and obviously I'm like trying to be a content creator, but I don't know why it still just feels cringy to me. Like, I don't know.
In 30 hard truths I learned about weight loss at 30, weekly weigh-in, I gained weight this month, more grocery hauls, the hard truth about weight loss plateaus, I quit my GLP-1 and now I can't stop gaining weight. I guess that just shows some perspective on what she'll be saying. Continue, miss.
One thing I cannot get behind, though, is all of these reaction channels that spout the most derogatory, hateful, sinister ideas about fat and obese, overweight individuals.
So that was a lot of words. Derogatory, cruel, I forget what else she said. I feel like, to be honest, most of the people that make anti-fat acceptance content are like really nice, and to be honest, did I already say to be honest? To be honest, genuinely, actually, I feel like a lot of people that make this type of content online aren't really as mean as people make them out to be. I don't know.
I will agree with that. I made this little short video. I was not trying to say I thought this way about all anti-fat activist content creators. Obviously, there is a bunch of different ones, and I was specifically talking about a handful that I've come across that are not nice at all. And I'll be honest, Angelica was not even in that group of people I was thinking about, but yeah, I will agree, not all of them are mean.
Maybe it's just because I am a cruel, cunty bitch, or maybe I just have really thick skin, so
yeah,
I'm not as sensitive.
I don't know, like I said, I've watched a few of her videos. I haven't watched all of them. I don't watch every single one. The ones I have seen, I definitely think she has very interesting sense of humor, and I mean, I honestly find her pretty funny in a lot of the stuff she says. And so yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I find her to be in this group of people per se, because I do think that there's a difference between having kind of a darker sense of humor and just outright being like a misogynistic asshole who hates fat people in general.
Sensitive as some other people, but some of the people that make anti-fat acceptance content, they're still, do I want to say like fluffy, or like they're still very kind and they tiptoe around things and they're very polite, and there's like a spectrum when it comes to the anti-fat acceptance creators.
I agree.
It's
yes.
like people that are very soft, very fluffy, you know, don't want to step on anyone's toes, don't want to offend anyone. And then we have like the very, how do I want to describe this? Because I feel like I'm kind of on this end. The people on the other side of the spectrum are over it. They are not afraid to offend you. They are sick of walking on eggshells. They are not going to sugarcoat anything for you. Sometimes they do say fucked up things that are hilarious. They are more comical, but they exaggerate a lot. They use hyperbole. Some may say they're mean. I say that they're entertaining and just being real. So there's a spectrum. We have nice and sweet, and we have first they're sour, then they're sweet. Okay? And you can decide who goes on what side of the spectrum, but I have my own opinions. And you know, like, when I first started getting into anti-fat acceptance content, like, I thought the people all the way over here, they were horrible and they were mean. And then I watched a lot of the people that were like the sweet, soft-spoken ones. But the longer I stayed in the anti-fat acceptance community, the further along that spectrum started to become. Like, I remember the first couple times I watched, I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong, I'll be sure to fucking look out in the comment section on you guys correcting me. Chikura Transformations or Leona. The first couple times I watched her, I was like, this lady's so mean. Now I'm like, she's just telling the fucking truth.
Yeah, I've seen some of her videos too, and I will say she's definitely very blunt. I don't find her to be very, like, cruel, though. Like, I would not... She doesn't come to mind when I'm thinking of just straight up cruel reaction channels.
Most people can't handle the truth, especially myself when I just left the fat acceptance community.
Like, I have never looked at a fat person and thought to myself, damn, you are such a burden on my tax bill.
You hear that, Honey Bison? She's talking about you. Just kidding.
And yeah, so I definitely have seen a few of Honey Bison's videos as well. And again, this video was not directly aimed at her either. I would say she's definitely on the spectrum, as Angelica worded it, you know, when it comes to like niceness and meanness. I think she is kind of similar to Shakira, as in she's very blunt and, you know, says things how she views them, which is fair. So yeah, I wouldn't say she is cruel. There are a few videos I've seen of hers where she has mentioned some talking points that I have seen other reaction channels voice, not gonna name them here, Alan Roberts, some things she agrees with that he talks about that I find questionable. But other than that, I don't find her as a creator super offensive. I just, yeah, I guess some of the things she agrees with that other people talk about, I don't agree with. But everyone has their opinions and things they agree and disagree with.
Kidding. I think Alan Roberts says that too, but it's like, it's just a fact. Like, we have 135,000 reasons why it is bad to be fat. And
I get that. I do understand why people view being fat as bad, and there are negative implications that come with being fat. Obviously, I am someone who has been trying to, like, be less fat for the past 2 years, and honestly for like most of my life I've been trying to not be so fat, trying to lose weight, and so I get it, I do, but I also feel like there's a right and a wrong way to say these things on the internet.
if you live in America, tax dollars is one of those reasons.
But specifically on the tax thing though, what I will say about taxes is I do feel that that whole argument is bizarre because our government wastes our tax dollars on so much bullshit that we have zero control over. So to get hyper fixated on something like a fat person using up more tax resources is, I just think it's laughable. I think it's laughable. I think it is a really nearsighted view of the situation here in America, and it's really not looking at things from like a wider perspective.
And I don't really think people individualize it, like they're not just like that.
So this
exact
little
person
screenshot
is
she put up, it says researchers have identified both direct and indirect economic costs associated with obesity. Direct costs come from treating obesity and its associated comorbidities. These include hypertension, type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, certain cancers, asthma, and over 200 others. As obesity rates continue to rise, so will the direct medical spending on the diagnosis and treatment of these conditions. It is estimated that the annual medical cost of obesity was nearly $173 billion in 2019. Okay, that was a while back. While medical costs were found to be $1,861 higher for those with obesity compared to patients at a normal weight. These costs increase with severity of obesity. The indirect costs of obesity on the economy are harder to measure accurately. Productivity costs constitute the major indirect costs associated with the disease. Productivity costs include absenteeism, employees missing work due to obesity-related health reasons, and presenteeism, decreased productivity while at work, as well as premature mortality, loss of quality adjusted life years, and higher rates of disability benefits payments. I don't know that I agree with that second part of the paragraph. A lot of that seems, I don't know, I would like to see the source for wherever she pulled this, because, yeah, I don't know.
The reason why our taxes are so high in America, it's kind of like a general consensus because a lot of tax dollars from American citizens goes to paying obesity-related medical bills.
Like, who thinks like that? Apparently, quite a few people on the internet do. And it's usually these like morally righteous individuals who have either lost weight and are now fitness trainers.
I don't feel like there are a lot of morally righteous people in the anti-fat acceptance community. I think a lot of us understand that we all share different opinions, but we are more alike than different. I don't think that anyone, at least that I know of or follow in the anti-fat acceptance community, I don't think that anyone acts holier than thou, because every single person, at least that I've watched in this community, has been in the same position as people in the fat acceptance community or overweight. So they understand like the mindset and the struggles that come with it.
Righteous individuals who have either lost weight and are now fitness trainers, or they've never been fat their whole lives and they're fitness trainers who just have these nasty ideas about fat people. And to those,
every single person that I can think of that is in the anti-fat acceptance community online, or at least on YouTube, because I participate in that more on YouTube than other platforms. Every creator that I know of, that I watch, has had some sort of disordered relationship with food and eating and body image issues. And a lot of them have had let me censor myself so I don't get in trouble. Honey Bison, Graphically Alex, Alan Roberts have all talked about how they've had problems with hinging, and obviously all of them have lost weight. Myself, Sam at Every Size, Megan Ann, we were all in the fat acceptance community and obviously left and have started weight loss journeys. Actually, Sam at Every Size just talked about how she got one of the gastric surgeries, and then Megan Ann just started a GLP-1. Yeah. So it's like people in this community are speaking from personal experience, and I think
get that, and I'm gonna stop here. I get that. I will say that channels like Megan Ann and Sam at Every Size, I feel like they're definitely on the nicer side of the spectrum, but I honestly respect those types of channels more, because I feel like while they are able to address topics and issues that arise from the fat acceptance side of the internet, they're able to do it in a way that is factual but also respectful and doesn't solely rely on just calling people names and criticizing their physical appearance. When they bring up issues they have with the fat acceptance content creators and activists and all that, it's based on things that are said and actions that are done and things that are actually wrong. It's not just based on, oh, you're a fat lol cow who, just looks disgusting, so I'm gonna tear you down on the internet because I hate fat people.
That's what makes the anti-fat acceptance community so powerful, is that we were once in the positions of the people that we talk about. Or Shakira Transformations, she used to struggle with Mia. I don't know if you guys can hear my bells, but every time my head a ring. So it's we know what we're talking about. Or some people have just been overweight, like my friend Sunny Side Up Gal. And I think Cynical Dude, I don't know if he's ever had a diagnosed ED, but he has lost a significant amount of weight too. We are more similar to the people in the fat acceptance community than they would like to believe. It's just that all of us over here in the anti-fat acceptance community have decided to take accountability for our actions and do something about our bad eating habits.
And that's great, and I 100% agree with that. I myself have decided to take accountability for my actions and work on my weight loss, and it's wonderful. But I also feel that was my decision to make, just like it was y'all's decision to make, and just like it's anyone else's decision to make. And so I don't know, in a way, just because someone's not making that decision, or if someone wants to make that decision but is having a hard time and kind of struggling and you know, maybe yo-yo dieting or whatever, I don't feel like that is a reason to criticize them and be rude and ugly on the internet.
And mental health issues.
Those individuals who do claim to be like personal trainers, but then simultaneously go online and spout all this nasty, hateful stuff about fat people.
Oh, personal trainer. I mean, Alan Roberts is a personal trainer too, but Obese to Beast, he's another one. He is a personal trainer or like coach.
Again, Obese to Beast, I have a lot of respect for him because he is always very respectful, and when he comes online and talks about people, he does it in a way that is not just being a straight up douchebag asshole misogynist. Like, I just have to say it. I feel like we all know what content creators I'm talking about. There is a handful who are just, yeah, not in the same category, and yeah, I can't with them.
Who has lost a significant amount of weight. I don't know if he's ever had like anything diagnosed, but he was pretty large at one point as well. I can't think of one coach in the anti-fat acceptance sphere on YouTube that hasn't had weight issues.
What does that say about what you think about the clients you so claim to want to help?
This is where I just started to roll my eyes when I watched this video the first time. Most of the time when people are making anti-fat acceptance content on YouTube, it's usually about specific creators, of course. It could be a viral moment of some random person in fat acceptance, but usually it's about lol cows or people that are god-awful fucking human beings that also just happen to be 500 plus pounds. I understand that, like, we can say crude things about the content creators that we react to, but, well, especially myself, you know, I love to say horrible things about Tess Holliday. But what I say about one person isn't a reflection upon every single fat person. Even though Tess Holliday and probably actually most people that are 500 pounds probably do share similar lifestyle habits, but most 500 pound people aren't trying to be supersized, plus size models and preach health at every size and lie about what type of ed that they have. The people that are being...
I get that, and I will say I understand that there are certain specific people within the fat acceptance community that are problematic for a multitude of reasons. Like, I understand that part.
Usually spread mass amounts of misinformation and live in a delusional state of mind, which then other people tend to take on as well. And two, it's like, sorry, like, it's literally honest. Like, when people critique Glitter and Lasers or Alex Rodriguez or Tess Holliday, and someone says, this person is fat as fuck and all they do is probably eat all day, that is literally the truth. And if you are the size of those human beings as well, then you are participating in the same activity. Is that harsh? Is that mean? No,
I mean...
I think that's literally just the truth.
I mean, okay, sure, something can be true, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is like anyone's job to point it out on the internet in such a crude way. Yeah, again, it's like, it's not really what you say, it's how you say it. And I feel like some people, when they say things, they just say it in a way that is honestly not very productive at all, and I don't think it's helpful for anyone, like, at all.
Why the truth is so mean nowadays.
I mean, not that the truth is mean. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It has tried to convince us that she does photosynthesis and she doesn't eat food, but she does. If you're fat as fuck and you don't know why, it's the food. If you're not losing weight...
I'll admit, I cannot, like... I'm not here to defend Tess Holliday or any of the other people that she mentioned. Like, obviously, I realize there are certain people within that space who kind of bring some of this upon themselves because they themselves say problematic things. And so, yeah, I guess I get that. I can't really argue with that.
This headband is, like, barely on my fucking melon head.
Like, I would never look at an individual and judge their character solely based on their physical appearance.
Speaking of holier than thou, you're just lying, because every human being has eyes. I mean, I know that there's blind people that can't see. Sorry that you're blind. Oh lordy, it's Jordy reference. But when you look at someone, their appearance is a reflection of their lifestyle habit.
I agree with that. A person's physical appearance most certainly can be a reflection of their lifestyle, but that does not mean it's a reflection of their character, which is what I said. I didn't say that I don't look at people and not judge their lifestyle on their appearance. I said I don't judge their character, as in who they are as a person internally, the part where you can't see it with your eyes. That was my point, because I have seen certain creators on YouTube, fat reaction, anti-fat activist reaction channels, who do basically state that they very much so view fat and obese people as morally inferior individuals with bad characters and bad values, essentially.
If someone has yellow skin and yellow eyes and a fucking beer belly, you're gonna guess, oh, they're an alcoholic and probably have liver failure.
Potentially.
If someone is white as snow and can barely stand up straight because they're about to pass out, we can, put two and two together and think, oh, maybe they're like anemic and are struggling with iron deficiency.
Yeah, and again, that has everything to do with, maybe their lifestyle, but nothing to do with who they are on the inside as a person.
When we see someone waddle down the cookie aisle at Walmart and they're approximately 450 pounds, we're gonna assume, I know assuming makes an ass out of me and you, but we're gonna assume that they have a sugar issue. The same way that if you see someone that's a healthy weight jogging around your neighborhood every single day, we're gonna assume that they're healthy.
This is coming from somebody who's been on an active weight loss journey. I am down right around 150 pounds. I'm still not to my goal weight. I'm still fat. That's obvious. But even when I do get to my goal weight and when I am no longer considered like fat, I am still never going to lose empathy.
I don't think anyone in the anti-fat acceptance community has lost empathy. I think that some people have lost patience with certain people or creators. I wouldn't say that as a community we have lost empathy for fat people, because we do understand the struggle. We do understand how hard it is to lose weight and how hard life can be when you are.
I would say certain creators maybe haven't lost the empathy, but there are certain creators who very much so make it clear with the words that they say that they do not have empathy for fat people.
Are obese and how much pain they're in and like the mental struggle and having like mental illness. But it's not a loss of empathy for...
I'm pretty sure Megan Ann is the one who says something like, basically the words that we use matter, and they do.
Fat public. It's just being sick and tired of listening to these same people giving the same excuse, shilling the same bullshit, and trapping other people in the same unhealthy, delusional mindsets. And if you keep reacting to the same content over and over and over again, your tolerance for the bullshit just like diminishes. You can only listen to the same fat fucks say the same stupid shit for so long before you get fucking annoyed of it. How many times do you have to hear 95% of diets fail until you're gonna combust? Steam coming out of your ears like a fucking cartoon character. How many times can you listen to 350-pound women that sit on their ass all day complain about how the world is so fat-phobic because they need 2 airplane seats and refuse to do anything about their weight and what they eat or how much they exercise? I'm sorry, my tolerance for bullshit has gotten so low, and I fear the older I get, the smaller amount of tolerance that I have. I'm only 28. I'll be 29 in March. I have this much of a patience left. I might have negative patience that by the time I turn 30, I'll just be screaming all the time.
For people who are struggling where I started out, and even if I was never fat, and even if I was a fit personal trainer my whole life, I
So you're better than all of us, just say it. That's how you feel.
Would not want to be the type of personal trainer, or really just the type of human being that looks at other human beings and judges their character based on their physical form.
I don't think that most people in the anti-fat acceptance community are just constantly judging fat people. We have other things to do with our day. Jobs, relationships, pets, houses, cars, hobbies to take care of. It's just when you react to this content, again, your tolerance for bullshit diminishes. Especially when the same fat activists or health at every size content creators come on the same internet as us and spew the same bullshit and suck people down into the same rabbit hole as them. I never would have knew about health at every size or how 95% of diets fail unless I found the fat acceptance community. I think if I never found the fat acceptance community, I probably never would have ballooned up to 272.8 pounds. Probably would have considered losing weight earlier, but because I was stuck in that rabbit hole or down in a bucket with a bunch of other crabs, then I would have lost weight sooner. But because I found this community that enabled my poor lifestyle habits and my mental illness, then it took longer for me to take accountability for.
I will admit, I was not ever really a part of the Haze movement. I was never super deep in that. I think I maybe followed a few people that were bigger in that space, but I didn't realize that that's what that space really was. And so I wasn't as like balls deep in it as some people were or still are.
Everything that I've done in my life.
I think that actually says a lot about your character if you're the type of person who can walk around this planet and look at other human beings and think, wow, what a fat piece of shit that's costing me money on my taxes.
No one does that. Like, okay, we say it for a fucking YouTube video. That's it. I'm not walking around.
Exactly. What you say matters, though.
Walmart being like, oh, there goes one of my dollars.
No, but apparently some people are thinking it.
Another one, another dollar, another dollar. Another dollar. No, I'm just like, damn. And then I keep pushing my fucking cart down the aisle so I can get the rest of my shit. And let's look at the comments. The nihilistic engineer says, I think, and this isn't an excuse, just an observation, that people tend to be the harshest towards those that remind themselves of their own flaws that they hate the most. I can agree to a certain point, because when I do react to fat acceptance content, I'm like, yeah, I remember being there. But it's the fact that fat acceptance content gets put online for literally anyone to see, so anyone can fall down into that trap. And rewatching all the fat acceptance content that I do just reminds me of how horrible I felt when I was in that community. I feel like I say this in like every single fucking video, but I'm like, when I was in the fat acceptance community, I felt so helpless and hopeless. Not only was my mental health bad because it was the lockdown, but my depression was so debilitating that I did not want to be on this planet anymore. I felt like I could not do literally anything about my life and my circumstances, which did include my weight. When you're in fat acceptance, you are told 95% of diets fail. If you lose weight, you're going to gain it back plus more. Genetics determine your weight even before you're born. 80% of people are fat because their ancestors survived famines. The list of bullshit goes on and on and on. So I would think, I hate how I look right now. I'm so fucking fat. I am exploding out of my pants and underwear. I have beet red stretch marks on my stomach and arms because I've rapidly gained weight and I'm not moving. I eat all day because that's the only thing that brings me temporary happiness and comfort during these horrible times. So I can't even attempt to lose weight because if I lose weight, then I'm just going to gain it back plus more. So if I hate myself at 272.8 pounds, then I'll probably hate myself if I get up to 300 pounds because I gained back even more weight after my diet. And then you're told counting calories is toxic. Intentional weight loss is toxic. Weight loss is fat phobic, and weight loss is rooted in racism, ableism, misogyny, the patriarchy, xenophobia, this, that, and the other. So even if I wanted to lose weight, I can't because it makes me a fucking bigot. So then you get trapped in this mindset. And when I react to anti-fat acceptance content, I hope it helps people see the other side out. That weight loss is possible. I've almost lost 90 fucking pounds.
Congrats.
And I used to be...
First of all, that is amazing, and congrats. I'm super proud of you, Angelica. One thing I do want to say though is, while I agree that, you know, there is a lot of problems with the fat acceptance movement, and I'm sorry that you were in a place where it was making you feel the way it did, at the same time, I feel like when it comes to coming out of that and trying to get on a weight loss journey and trying to find ways to motivate other people who want to lose weight online, I feel like there are better ways to go about that don't have to include just trash talking and making derogatory comments on other fat people, women and men's bodies. I know it's mostly women because that's mostly who talks about these things online, but...
Be in the fat acceptance community. If I can do it, then you can too, motherfucker. Like, I'm not special. Yeah, cool, I talk to my iPhone camera, and I have a little fancy microphone, and I edit on my MacBook. That doesn't make me special. I'm not unique. I wasn't granted superhuman magic powers from the universe or God. I just ate less food, and I worked out more. And
I agree with that, and that's why I share my journey online too, is because, yeah, I want to show people that you can lose weight, and just like you said, all it really boils down to is eating in a calorie deficit and moving your body more to help with that. But yeah, I agree with all of that.
You can do that too. Guess what? And you can do that too. I hope you know that. I believe in you, and you don't need to listen to this stupid shit on the internet. From what I've seen, most anti-fat acceptance people used to be a part of the community, or at least overweight themselves, so they are more than likely to be mean towards the people that remind them of that feature in themselves. Yeah, I guess we already kind of talked about that. It's kind of the same phenomenon of daughters and moms fighting more. They will always be harder on the people that remind us of our own weaknesses or fears. I mean, I do think that there are specific people that I'm harder on than just like random people in the fat acceptance community. I'm going to be more harsh towards Tess Holliday or Ann O'Brien, or people that have millions and millions of followers that are in the fat acceptance, health at every size communities online. But I don't think it's being mean when you're literally just telling the truth. But the truth is hard to hear. And I understand that some people are more sensitive than others, and some people like to hear the hard truth. Content for all those different types of people is readily available on YouTube. I get so many comments of people saying, I appreciate how straightforward you are, or how you don't put up with people's bullshit.
And I understand that, you know, certain people have different preferences for how they like to be told things, and I get that some people may enjoy the kind of tough love approach, no bullshit, whatever. And again, yeah, you're right, that is totally a personal preference thing.
Or I get a lot of Gen Xers saying like, I'm Gen X and I just love your no bullshit approach to things, and you say what's on your mind. And I appreciate all those comments too, but I understand that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. When I see people making fat acceptance content, I get upset thinking about how horrible I felt, and I never want anyone to feel the way that I did when I was in fat acceptance, which is why I make the content that I do now. And I also make this content to show people that there is a way out. I was making that stupid fucking content too. I was being cringy online. I was spreading misinformation online, but there is a way out. Some of them seem to have started out helpful and then become meaner. It probably gets more engagement to be cruel. I guess to a point, but when you just keep reacting to the same things over and over and over, you can't stand it. How?
But I think that comment though is 100% accurate. Like 100% negativity, and the more cruel something is online, the more engagement and reach it will get, because it's kind of just that like shock value, you know, whenever someone gets online and says some outlandish shit about someone else, obviously that is going to get people's attention way more than someone just kind of being like, oh, you know, this person is doing this thing which isn't great but doesn't make them a bad person. Like, you know, yeah, people want to hear the person be like, oh no, this person is a fat piece of shit and whatever. And it's just, I think it's just the shock value, and the algorithm unfortunately just feeds on that.
Fucking long are we gonna watch Glitter and Lasers talk about how she is 500 pounds of unburnable fat? Like, you can only try and be nice and give advice for so long before you go fucking nuts. And besides her being on a weight loss journey for 41 fucking years, she spreads misinformation. Where is that in your video, Jasmine? Most people that make anti-fat acceptance content are also debunking the fucking myths that people in the fat acceptance community spew. I mean, I posted a reaction to
I guess, but that wasn't really the point of my video. You know, my video, honestly, my whole point was just that I don't really agree with certain reaction channels, not all reaction channels, but certain ones who take it to the extreme.
Acceptance compilation a couple days ago, and I feel like I was fairly level-headed in it, and I even stuck up to some of the videos that were in that compilation. Okay, I'm nosy. I need to know who you're talking about. One that comes to mind, the absolute worst, is Alan Roberts. I don't know his name, but I do know it takes a lot of energy to be that hateful. It really doesn't. You can get me riled up real easy. Comes naturally, baby. And it is scientifically proven that you can't shame someone into a healthier body. Also, by the way, I heard of you from a reaction anti-fat acceptance channel. Pretty sure it was Honey Bison or Angelica Unfiltered. They did a live together. They said really nice things about you. See, we can be nice. We are supportive when we can be. It's just a lot of the people in the fat acceptance community say some stupid shit. I don't know what this person is referring to, though. I've reacted to so much fucking content. Maybe it was like the first live that Honey Bison and I did together. Okay, this is the one that really pissed me off. So glad you brought this up. These channels really grind my gears, and it's almost always attacking women. Well, the funny thing is that almost everyone in the fat acceptance community are women. So who the fuck else are you going to talk about? There's like probably 5 gay men in the fat acceptance community, and they're not the ones going viral. Are we not supposed to critique people in the fat acceptance community because they're women? I'm not going to coddle women, especially when it's the same women that are pulling other women down and making their lives fucking miserable. Everyone in the fat acceptance community has a crabs in a bucket mentality. You know, once someone is about to get out of the community, you know, they have their claw on the top of the bucket rim and about to pull themselves out. All the other fat fucks in the fat acceptance community pull down their legs and make sure that they're still stuck down there with them. People in the fat acceptance community don't want to see other women heal and lose weight. They don't. And they don't want to see them leave the fat acceptance community either. They don't want to see other women escape the cult-like group think mindset. How would I know? Because that happened to me.
Yeah, I can't really speak on that because, again, I'm not a fat activist. I'm not part of that community. Never have been. So, you know, yeah, I can't really relate to that. But I guess if that was your experience, then yeah, I could see how that is problematic.
You know, that happened to me. Yes, it did. I was deemed as dead. D-E-A-D, dead.
I do remember seeing a video where she talked about this whole situation, and I have to say that was kind of crazy.
Because I no longer wanted to be in the fat acceptance community, and I had critiqued what the movement stood for. I know we just think of that one iconic video that S did of me.
From now on, I am just going to treat every fat creator who has freshly turned into a weight loss influencer as if they've died.
That went viral. But there were other people in that community that made videos about me too. I just didn't fucking react to them. But I do have one saved in my archive from a content creator named Chelsea. I'm sitting on that still. Year and a half later. So are we not allowed to critique women? Like, I hate that. I'm sorry. I am so...
Like, there's a difference between critiquing someone and their actions and just verbally abusing someone about their physical appearance.
Harsh on myself. I am my biggest critic. And I will put that same energy onto women because I want to see women succeed.
One thing I do want to say, Angelica, is that I really hope that you aren't this harsh on yourself, because you cannot bully yourself into weight loss and you can't hate yourself into weight loss. And if there's one thing I've learned on my weight loss journey, it is that, you know, hating yourself is not the way to sustainably live a healthier, more active lifestyle. Like, do all the things because you love yourself and you love your body, not because you hate it. And so, yeah, I really hope you're not bullying yourself into weight loss.
I don't want to see women play victim and be fat, lazy fucks and sit on the internet and cry about how hard their lives are when other women in the past have literally fought for our human rights. We have these same rights as men. We need to take accountability for the circumstances that we have got ourselves in so that we could live a healthier, happier, more fulfilling life. If someone is being a dumb bitch, I'm going to tell them that they are being a dumb bitch. And I don't care if you think I have internalized patriarchy or sexism or misogyny because I call someone a dumb bitch. If you're being a dumb bitch on the internet and you're a fat activist, I'm going to fucking say something about it. What you're saying affects other women. Like, but with the PCOS shit, like when people come online and they talk about how they can't lose weight because they have PCOS, or they can't lose weight because they have insulin resistance. When some people say that, other people hear it and they internalize it. So they think, okay, well, this plus size woman can't lose weight because she has insulin resistance and PCOS, so that means I can't either. Then the second woman is going to say that, and then that's going to trickle down and spread to all these other people that have PCOS and insulin resistance. So then they don't even attempt to lose weight because they heard someone else share their lived experience. And I know it is possible to lose weight when you have PCOS and insulin resistance because I follow content creators that have lost a ton of weight.
And I agree with that. I myself have PCOS and I've lost close to 150 pounds. And yeah, so 100% you can lose weight with PCOS. I feel like this is a little bit of a off-topic tangent though that we went on here.
But then also in my comment section and in so many different comment sections on different videos in the anti-fat acceptance communities on YouTube, people have talked about how they've lost fucking 50, 75, 100, 150, 200, 300 fucking pounds, and they had PCOS and insulin resistance. What we say online matters.
Yes, it does.
And when it is women
100%. Yes, that is like the whole point of my video.
Misinformation online, a lot of people in the anti-fat acceptance community are women as well. We will express our opinion and also debunk the stupid shit that they say. It just seems like the body positive community is just trying to make it through their day and not hate themselves, in my opinion. I understand, like, not everyone was deep into the body positivity fat acceptance community that I am. It's more than just surface level squishing your fat rolls and taking pictures of your stretch marks and writing like little empowering statements on your Instagram caption. It goes deeper than that. It's not just saying, love yourself, girlfriend. You're so beautiful. Love your imperfections. Your body got you to where you are now. Your body's strong. Your body is resilient. It's not just their stupid text posts and basic infographics that they steal from Canva. It's teaching women how to be compliant and not want more from themselves. I get it. We can have bad body image days and we don't feel the cutest, or maybe we're feeling a little bloated and insecure, or maybe we gained back 5 pounds on Thanksgiving weekend. But body positivity has been stolen by fat acceptance, and those two communities have sold the idea that it is fine to be the way that you are. I mean, like, I guess, yeah, if you want to be like this forever, like, do you? I don't give a fuck. I don't live your life. But those communities don't support.
But it feels like you do give a fuck whenever you go online and make these like long drawn out videos bashing people who are just living their lives. I don't know. Then again, I truly don't give a fuck about what fat people do with their lives. Thus, I don't make reaction content to that kind of stuff. Yeah, I feel like this video, she did go on a little bit of a tangent about like fat activism and stuff, and I get it, because that's what her whole channel is about, but that wasn't really the point of like what I was saying. So let me see if I can find any more relevant clips.
It is not okay to be mentally ill. It is not okay to struggle. It is not okay to be super morbidly obese. It is not okay to eat yourself to a place of being fucking disabled and immobile because you are addicted to food. It is not good to struggle with daily activities like wiping your ass, getting out of bed, walking up a flight of stairs. Like, I get it if you have like chronic illness and disabilities. When
I just want to say though, yeah, mental health can be a chronic illness, and as someone who has struggled with my mental health for like the majority of my life with depression and anxiety and stuff like that, you know, obviously there are far more severe mental illnesses that truly do have to be managed with chronic medications and things. To say that it's not okay to be mentally ill and it's not okay to be fat and obese, like, again, it's like, I don't know, I guess I just have a very different view of the world and life in general and like the human experience, and maybe it's just comes from things I've witnessed and experienced in my life. But personally, I feel that other human beings are allowed to kind of live their own life experiences to whatever they see fit. And if someone's dealing with a chronic illness or a mental illness or obesity or whatever, and they're not wanting to do anything to really work on that or change that, that is solely their prerogative, and it does not affect me in any actual way if it doesn't affect me, you know. And again, I just feel like some people kind of have a really warped view on like reality. Like, humans are humans. Not everyone is gonna be the pinnacle of health, and that is not our job to critique and criticize and try to make people hate themselves to fit the mold that we've created.
you can't do a lot of those things, but it's different when you have eaten yourself to that point and you can do something about it. If you have a certain disorder and disease and you genuinely, actually cannot change your circumstances, I get it. I'm not shaming people from that. I'm not fucking ableist. But when you are Amberlynn Reed and mentally abuse your significant others, also financially, and you can't wipe your own ass, so you gotta put a wet washcloth on your fucking counter sink and twerk, that should be a wake-up call. That's not something that should be in your daily routine.
Again, I am not on here to defend the Amberlynn Reeds of the internet, and yeah, I don't know, I feel like we've gotten into the weeds once again.
If you are so fat you can't even stand up to take a fucking shower, that is not okay. I just hate... Graphically Alex was like talking about this in his video I watched today too, where it's like, as a culture, I don't know if it's more, maybe like more millennial-ish, but it's like, why have we gotten to the point where we just think like, oh, this is okay, this is normal, this is regular? It should not be. It should not be normal or cute or quirky to have a fucking pigsty in every single one of your rooms in the house. It's not quirky to bed rot and be so fucking depressed that you sleep 18 hours a day. It's not cute and quirky and trendy to be in thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of credit card debt. It's not cute and quirky to eat every meal from fucking McDonald's. That's not okay.
But I also feel like, again, these are all like morals and characteristics that you have kind of set for yourself, and so it really sounds like you're kind of imposing your morals onto other people, and if people aren't living up to the standards you've created for yourself, then you view them as less than and therefore as like morally invalid. And yeah, I don't agree with that.
It's okay. Like, it's not okay. It's not okay. Like, if you want to have a shitty life, go ahead, do that. I don't give a fuck. But if you're going to post about your shitty life and your shitty habits online, don't be surprised when someone says something about it. Because when you post things online, that affects other people. And when people in the body positivity and fat acceptance communities glamorize their lives when they're fat as fuck and they act like it's so healthy to be 400 pounds as a 5'5" woman. It's so sexy. It's so luxurious. It's so amazing. There's nothing wrong with this, even though I have fucking osteoarthritis at 25. And my mom has to come to my room every 30 minutes on the fucking dot to give me a fresh pack of hot Cheetos or family-sized container of Oreos. Like, that's not okay. I get it if you're not okay. I have not been okay too. I just talked about how I didn't want to be alive 3 years ago. But fucking do something about it, okay? And people in the anti-fat acceptance space over here on YouTube are just literal examples that you can do something about your circumstances. If you're not okay, then do something about it. Stop being compliant. Stop being a fucking lazy loser bitch. You deserve more.
I think what she's attempting to do here is, again, just trying to motivate people in her own, like, dark sense of humor way, which, you know, to each their own. I know this is for some people, I get it, but yeah, it's...
You deserve to live a happy, healthy life. And I genuinely mean that. And when I say that, I just don't mean, oh, cute, post a picture in your freaking bikini and your stretch marks. You're so brave, girl. You're so slay, girl boss. I love you, fat queen. No, I mean that you deserve to do the fucking hard things so you can prosper. I want to see you meal prep and exercise and find healthy habits and lose weight and drink water and feel the sun beat on your fucking skin. Go enjoy nature. I want you to do that. I want you to actually enjoy life. I don't want you to be in the fat acceptance community where you try to convince yourself that you're okay the way that you are and you don't need to change. You deserve to change. You deserve something
if you want
better.
to, yeah.
Stop being so fucking compliant in your life. You are not a victim. There are certain things in our lives that we cannot control, but there are a hell of a lot more things that we can. Alright, sorry to go AA on y'all again. The serenity prayer. You know, replace God with your higher being or some sort of superhero if you want. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Acknowledge what you can change, accept that. Work on the things that you cannot.
I will say, though, that, you know, that is an interesting correlation, you know, AA, and then she's basically talking to people who are trying to get out of fat acceptance, I guess. So interesting correlation.
Change and know the difference. There's this guy I fucking saw on Instagram. He was on a weight loss journey and working out, and he had no fucking legs.
That's awesome.
And he was walking on the treadmill.
Looks really
he
good.
cannot change the fact that he has no legs, and he's probably accepted that on his journey. But he was determined enough to change his lifestyle habits so that he could lose weight. And I'm sure that he knows the difference between the things that he cannot change and that he can change. What can you change in your life, viewer? Probably a hell of a lot more than you think. You just need to take accountability for your actions. Also,
this is very motivational. I just want to say you are a great motivational speaker.
Roiled up manosphere gym bros with bad takes is tiny in number comparably. I feel like that there is probably way more delusional fat acceptance community members than toxic gym bros. You know why? Because 77% of American adults are overweight. 44% of American adults are obese. There is probably such a small sliver of toxic gym bros compared to people in the fat acceptance community. Like, how many people are in prime shape, taking roids, eating boiled chicken and broccoli for every meal? And then how many people are in the fat acceptance community, or actually just obese? You don't have to be in the fat acceptance community. Because the thing is, even if you aren't in the fat acceptance community, if you are fat or obese, you probably still share a lot of the same mindsets as fat activists.
Oh, see, that's the part I don't agree with, because I am fat. I'm still classified as obese according to my BMI, and I do not feel like I have the same views as the fat activist community.
Believe that you can't do anything about your weight, and your genetics determine your weight, and you barely eat anything, and you're just fat because you do photosynthesis, like you absorb fat from the air.
So yeah, I don't believe any of those things. In fact, I have talked extensively about how I have been recently struggling with my weight going up and down since coming off of GLP-1, and I know that it is 100% because I have been struggling with my overeating. I'm not going to use the other word, but yeah, I definitely understand how weight gain and weight loss work, and I don't believe any of those things. But again, I'm still fat, so I don't think that statement that if you are fat, you probably have the same views as people in the fat acceptance community, like automatically, like, no.
And that's how you've become super morbidly obese, even though you barely eat anything. But at the same time, you go to McDonald's for every fucking meal and consume 6,000 calories while walking maybe 2,000 steps a day, because you also work a office job where you sit on your big fat ass all day and don't move. And even though you only work 8 hours a day, you complain that you have absolutely no time to meal prep and exercise. So that's why you have a DoorDash subscription, and all you drink is fucking Mountain Dew because you don't like the taste of water. You see, even if you are not in fat acceptance community, you share the same mentals as people in the fat acceptance community. Like, graphically, Alex was never in the fat acceptance community, but he talks about how he had bed, and a lot of his same mindsets were the same as people that are or were in the fat acceptance community.
Well, again, I feel like every individual is an individual, so yeah, it could be true for some, not for all.
That people say in the fat acceptance community is not just staying there.
Yeah,
it's spreading
and
out.
Things people say in this like community of anti-fat activists, reaction people, the things they're saying spread as well. My main concern are the hateful, cruel, misogynistic, and just downright ugly things that are being said by certain creators that are being reiterated by other creators.
But also just being said in general society. And the funny thing is, I'm subscribed to Jasmine Flowers, and I've commented on some of her videos in the past. And yeah. I mean, I don't think she like owes me anything, because I've left her supportive comments on her videos. I mean, I don't even know if she's watched any of mine.
I have.
Most people in the anti-fat acceptance community are supportive of anyone that's on a weight loss journey, or if they have left the fat acceptance community. I was welcomed with open arms. Several people made videos about what happened to me on TikTok, and that was months before I even decided to start making YouTube videos about my experience. Yes, people in this community can be harsh and more forward and blunt and sometimes mean. Wink. But the people in this community are some of the most loving, caring, compassionate, intelligent, and educated people that I have ever seen. I try to reply to as many comments as I can, and I want to like be supportive of you guys that leave comments talking about how that you've lost weight and you're celebrating non-scale victories and stuff like that. If I don't get to those comments, there are people in the comments section that reply to them and say congratulations. Like, people in the anti-fat acceptance community are supportive and kind, and they want to see other people succeed. And when you talk about this topic you know, like weight and fat acceptance and body positivity. It is something that is very taboo, and it is something that a lot of people are very sensitive about. So I understand like this content is not for everyone, but I will speak for everyone that posts this type of content online. I know everyone genuinely wants to see everyone succeed and lose weight and get out of the fat acceptance community. Yeah, there are some certain people that we are more critical of, that we could be a little bit more brash towards, but it's because they're either repeat offenders. That's so fucking dramatic. But it's like, or they are constantly spewing misinformation or have a large amount of followers.
And yeah, I get that, and I'm not even in disagreement with that, like totally. I think it's great to kind of go and debunk some of these, especially the larger content creators that do have a wider audience and a wider reach, you know, that are spreading some kind of harmful narratives, like totally. And I support that, but I feel like there is a right and a wrong way to go about it. That's just me personally, though. I am not here to act like I am above anyone. I don't think I'm better than anyone just because I feel this way. But yeah, it's how I feel. I feel like you don't have to be cruel to get a point across. And yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it here because this is already gonna be a super long video. I do want to say thank you to Angelica for actually reacting to my video, because honestly, like, all things aside, I don't hate her as a creator. I think she's really cool and can be very funny. She has a very dark sense of humor, like I said, and you know, we may not agree on everything, but that's okay. And yeah, overall, like, absolutely no hate towards her at all. And in fact, I am really honored that she took 45 minutes of her life to even address a video I made. So anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think down in the comment section, because I think this is kind of an interesting conversation to be had. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next one.